And in the style of this movie, Chicago, it plays almost like an operetta. It's not an opera because an opera is all song. And in Chicago, it's more like an operetta because there is words between songs. And many times there's words or lyrics spoken within the midst of the songs. So you have two forms, and it appears as though the spoken words are telling you something in law, whereas the sung lyrics are telling you something, spoofing it in equity. And in this particular song that we are introduced to Mama Morton, she comes out and in words she announces that she has a system that works. And if you were just being brought into a prison and you were lined up in front of the warden for that prison, you know you're going to get an introduction and you know you're going to have a draft, a set of instructions whereby if you don't pay attention to what the warden is giving you as the rules of procedure and practice here, you're going to end up in a dishonor very quickly and you're not going to like what you see. So Mama Morton says, I have a system. This system is called reciprocity. Then she breaks into a song that says, I've got a little motto. It always sees me through. When you're good to Mama, Mama's good to you. Then she says, you may think I'm here to make your life a living hell. It's just not true. Could she be talking to patriots? Could she be public servants giving their little speech to the patriot community? You know, that's the first thing I thought about. You know, if you're a patriot for very long and you've done very much, you're probably sooner or later going to be in front of Mama Morton. And Mama Morton is going to be giving you her little speech. And you probably better be listening to Mama Morton because she's going to be telling you something. Now, if you're a dyed-in-the-wool patriot and you've been a patriot for long enough, you're going to listen to Mama Morton and you're going to be giving her the finger because you're going to say, Mama Morton doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. She's lying through her teeth again. Let me tell you, Mama Morton is telling you how you do it. She's giving you the truth, and you better be listening to what she says, and you better be paying attention to the lyrics in her song, because she's absolutely one of the parties that you don't expect to be getting the truth out of. But she's given it to you like it is. So her system is called reciprocity. What have we been saying in the commercial world? Haven't we been saying that the private party is the only one that has commercial energy? Who must give first? You expect to get something from the public first? They don't have anything, they're debtors. You must give first. You give something, the public will give back to you. What is Mama Morton saying? I got a little system that works. It's called reciprocity. Whatever you do, I'll do. Did Mama Morton say, I want to tell you, we got law going on here, and if you people don't obey the law, you're going to be in deep crap? Is that what Mama Morton said? No, there is no law. Mama Morton is telling you the truth. You got a little motto, always sees me through. When you're good to Mama, Mama's good to you. There's a lot of favors I'm prepared to do. You do one for Mama, she'll do one for you. Then she says, I'd be your best friend if you would let me. Isn't that what the lawyers, the judges, and the prosecutors are supposed to be? Aren't they supposed to work for the people? Aren't they supposed to be your best friend if you would let them? Then Mama goes back again. So if there's something that upsets you and you are unhappy in any way, don't shoot your fat-ass mouth off to me, 'cause I don't give a shit. Now move it out. There's Mama. There's Mama. You do something for her, she'll do something for you, but she ain't no pushover. You just saw her public side and you heard her private side. They say that life's tit for tat. That's the way I live, Mama says. So I deserve a lot of tat for what I've got to give. The public milking trough coming from the public servants, but it doesn't come first to you without you first giving something to it. Don't you know that this, the right hand, washes the other one, left, too? When you're good to Mama, Mama's good to you. After the song was over, Mama escorts Roxy to her cell, and on the way, Mama says, you will be habitating down in the East Block. Murderer's Row, we call it. What does Scripture say about directions? Nothing good comes out of the East. So the East Block is where all these murderers are going. Okay. Roxy responds in her naive way and says, oh, is the East Block nicer? Wishful thinking. You know, I don't really think I belong in here. I didn't actually do anything wrong, she told Mama. Mama responds and says, quote, you don't really need to tell me, honey. I ain't never heard of a man getting killed when he didn't get just what was coming to him. Doesn't the man represent law? Remember, it's all men getting killed by women. It's not women getting killed. The men represent the law. It's the law that's dying, not the women. And here's Queen Latifah saying, I never saw anybody that claimed to be honorable in law that didn't have a fault that shouldn't have been executed. She's saying it colorably, but behind what she's telling you everything we've been talking about. This whole story in lyrics is filled with that. I ain't never heard of a man getting killed when he didn't just get what was coming to him. Notice that Mama never picks an argument with any of the people in her jail. She agrees with every one of them. Doesn't make any difference what they say. She will not argue with those people. She accepts everything. So Mama finishes up the preceding song by singing a last verse or so. When they pass that basket, folks contribute to. You put in for Mama, she'll put out for you. The basket that people contribute to, what's that? Isn't that the offering in church? Free will? What are taxes? That's the free will offering in the church today, because the church moved up to the lawyers. They're the ones that are executing the law. So the free will contribution is the income tax. So when they pass that basket, voluntary contribution, isn't that what a tax is? A voluntary contribution. But you've got to support the church and the priests, or else we won't forgive your sins. That folks contribute to, you put in for Mama, and she'll put out for you. Does that sound like words of commercial intercourse again? She'll put out for you to give you the remedy by settling the accounts. Who's going to settle the accounts? The prison warden is going to settle the accounts. Aren't you there under their custody? Who's the holder in due course of the collateral? Mama. The rest of the verse. The folks atop the ladder are the ones the world adores. Those are the people that have climbed the commercial ladder of success. So boost me up the ladder, kid, and I'll boost you up yours. Let's all stroke together like the Princeton crew. Who are they? The Princeton crew? The rowing boaters on the river. What are they doing? Commercial competition. It's warfare. Okay, so let's all stroke together like the Princeton crew, boating in admiralty competition on the river. When you're stroking Mama, Mama's stroking you. All commercial intercourse terms. These people know what they're talking about in this movie. So what's the one conclusion, Mama says? I could bring this number to. When you're good to Mama, Mama's good to you. Isn't this just a commercial solicitation from the charged person to help settle the accounts by commercial cooperation instead of legal argument? And this is only about the second or third song in the whole story already. Every aspect of this movie is giving you an entertainment burlesque parody of the legal process that exists in our legal system today. Roxy asked Mama as she's leaving the cell for the night, Mama, can I have a couple of extra blankets? It's cold in here. Mama just gives her a blank stare and walks away, and Roxy is left to feel confused and sorry for herself in a strange world in which Roxy believes she has been unjustly charged for a crime to which she is not guilty, and that she was justified in her action against Freddie, who she sees as the real criminal in this action. The next song in the story deals with 6 murderesses, all in the Cook County Jail, either awaiting trial on murder or having been convicted of the same. And they are all telling you that they feel justified in their acts of execution of having been made by a response to some alleged act of legal dishonor by the men they killed. Which is like us patriots going, well, we did this private administrative process, and in doing this private administrative process, we got this certificate of protest here. And based on this certificate of protest, we're just going to go out with this confession and we're going to execute against that person. Isn't that what the Montana Freeman did? Isn't that what a lot of other people are doing that are sitting in jail right now having used this procedure? Are they any different than the 6 murderesses? They did a private procedure, they're sitting in jail, and they say, I don't understand why we're here. We're justified in what we did. They sing a very, very cute song. And here is part of the chorus to that song. Let's see, where did it get to? The chorus goes something like, he had it coming. He had it coming. He only had himself to blame. If you'd had been there, if you'd have heard it, I bet you would have done the same. Do we have 6 women? 6 represents what? The number of man, who is sinful, lost in his sin, in his death. You have the 6 women trying to justify their acts and actions, which were all private ex parte, as though they have confessed no guilt, no shame, no remorse. And they're in prison either to stand trial or to be executed for their crime. And it's done in the manner of a tango, an exotic Latin dance. And the movie just keeps going on and on and on like this. Next time we get together in 2 weeks, I'm going to give you a little bit of a parody of some of the rest of this story, because it's really quite incredible what it's doing in terms of being a second witness to where we're going and what we're doing. It is very relevant to the patriots that are on the leading edge of this legal process to understand that portion that even the people in this movie Chicago are saying that's okay, that's acceptable in terms of the process, and that portion in which they're saying, nope, that's a dishonor, you've dishonored the public, it isn't going to wash. It's an incredible story. It's extremely entertaining. It's absolutely backwards from what you expect a high moral story to be. But the reverse nature of the morals they're giving you show you the nature of the procedure and form and the substance of the remedy. And when you're introduced to Billy Flynn, it just gets better, because he's absolutely the antithesis of everything that a Christian patriot assumes you ought to see in a lawyer that's operating the public legal system. But he's showing you the remedy. He's providing it to the clients that stay in honor. And you bet as soon as Billy starts showing them the remedy, the first thing they believe they can do, Ross, is to ditch their attorney and go in themselves and get the remedy, because this is so easy. I can see how you're doing it, and I don't need you anymore, Billy Flynn. I can do it myself. Beep. Doesn't work, as Billy, perfectly happy to let you do it. Go for it. God bless you. It isn't going to work because they think they understand it, and they don't, and they need the counsel to go in there in their behalf. Okay, God willing, we'll be back here in 2 weeks. Everybody have a nice couple of weeks.